House here for housework, and today I want to talk about one thing and one thing only, and we are approaching the 4th of July. In fact, when this comes out, it will be the 4th of July, and for those of you who are not in the United States, the 4th of July is kind of our birthday of the United States. So it's when we kind of take that date and we applied it to the creation of our country. And one of the things you've probably been seeing me hashtag quite a bit is Work For It. And Work For It is not just the name of my podcast, which, by the way, we just did a podcast recording with Dustin and Devin O'Hara over at the Art of Craftsmanship. So if you haven't gone out and listened to that, I would truly appreciate it if you did so. It's just good audio fodder for when you're working in your workshop. But there's a whole bunch of other episodes too. There's 6 total episodes up. You can find us on Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Apple iTunes, the whole deal. Anyway, not to get on the sidebar of that, but what I was saying about Work For It is I wanted to kind of tell you what that means to me and how it correlates with the new stickers that I've got, which are the Work For It stickers I've been sending out to everybody who buys a hardware pack and a grinder kit. How that origin of that phrase kind of happened. It was a happenstance, and people were talking to me about their work and what they do and how they make a living, and that's kind of what we talk about on the podcast. Is the value you bring to society through your work. A lot of us men, we kind of attribute our value to the world in that regard, right? It's via our work. It's like what we kind of attach to us, and I feel like it defines us a little bit in who we are as people and who we identify with in other social circles. Kind of depends on that same work, that consistency, right? So when I'm always saying, screw it, let's do it, and all that, and I love that, and it's fun and everything. But when we kind of sat down and came up with Work For It, it just hit me so hard. It hit me like, yes, that's it. It's work for it, right? And if you want something bad enough, if you're passionate about it, if you have purpose in your life, you work for it. You go out and you take it. You make it a reality. You can't just sit there and dream it up and just hope it comes to you. You have to literally go out there and work for it. And Dexter has been joining me quite a bit in the studio, and we've been working on a couple projects. One of which is he decided that he wanted to build a desk and a workbench for his bedroom. He's been using this old desk that's got holes in it that we got kind of secondhand for a lot of years, and he says, I really want to build this desk. And so we kind of came up with this concept of we were watching Cody over at Wrangler Star, and he made this really cool workbench. But anyway, we said, let's do a 2x4 sandwich construction. We'll trim them down on the table saw. We'll kind of make it work and make it kind of cool. And you'll be able to learn and get some new skill sets while you're building something that you really want, and ultimately you will use. And then also it gives me the opportunity to spend some really cool, good quality time with my son in my workshop, which is like a dad's best thing, right? I always think back to all the times I spent with my own father in the workshop. And those memories are very dear to my heart. And so anyway, what I said to Dexter was, hey man, if you want this, you got to work for it. I'll buy the material, but you have to work for it. You have to do the work. I'll help you, but we're going to do it together. And any endeavor that you take, any endeavor you want to work for or go for, you have to have purpose and passion, and you have to work for it, right? So I adopted that mindset. I said, that's our new mantra. And every time I'm doing something and put something together or creating something, I realize that there's a specific amount of time that I have to apply to this. I have to learn new skills. I have to maybe buy tools and supplies. And most of all, I have to work for it. So we came up with that. We started making stickers, and we're putting them out there. And I sent some over to a buddy of mine out over in England. And I mean, I've sent out hundreds of them, and since about the last couple of months or whatever. And they're starting to pop up everywhere. Now on Facebook, you'll go on the Facebook forum and the Home Built Belt Grinders and the DIY Machines and Belt Grinders forums. and you'll see people sticking them to everything, putting them on their toolboxes, on their cars, on their grinders and all. And I think it's just like, it sings to my heart, man, and it makes me feel good that other people want to work just as hard for something that they want. And I'm proud to sort of hashtag that and send it out to the world. Because right now, the hashtag work for it is like some sort of like fitness thing, which I'm not trying to take away from all the fitness buffs out there, but you know, so if you go on Instagram and you just search for that hashtag, you'll see it's just a bunch of people, you know, good-looking, muscly people in bathing suits and doing Pilates and whatever else. And so I had this concept, and I was like, you know what? I want to own that hashtag. I want that hashtag. So I am going to employ you to go out there and hashtag work for it every single moment you get. Hashtag, even if it's not something related to me, but it's related to a project that you are working on, I would like you to hashtag work for it. And you can tag me if you want. I would love that. And I would love to own that hashtag so that people start to attribute that word, that phrase, to what we do as makers. We're building things and creating things, but for, you know, overall, it's a lot of work what we do, you know, creating content and so on. So anyway, that's the origin story of Work For It. And also, it's also kind of cool that it's coming to this right now, July 4th, where the birth of America, you know, birth date of America, because there was a whole lot of people that really worked for it for many generations to build this country into what it is today, an economic powerhouse. And even in times where we are faced with a lot of divisive content and talk and political BS and what, you know, this person believes that and this person believes that. And we see all those things and it's a ton of negativity. I want to take Work For It and bring that to the top surface. And so that people are talking about the projects, the things they're making, the things they're doing, the things they're passionate about and they're working for, instead of all of this negative talk about I'm right, you're wrong, and you know, all these things that tear people apart. Instead, we should be talking about what brings us together as a people. And it doesn't necessarily have to be that you're an American. You could be anywhere on the planet, because we are now turning into a global society where, you know, something happens overseas and it directly affects me here in the States. I want you to know that take the conversation higher. What are you working for? Tell me down in the comments. I want to see it. Hashtag it on Instagram and tag me in your photos and your projects. I want to see what you're working for, because that is what gave me purpose. It gives me purpose every single day when I wake up. I feel like if I'm not working towards my goal today, I feel terrible. I don't feel like I'm being productive. And I need that. I need that work to give myself some definition for the day, you know. Ultimately, it brings me happiness to work for things. So go out there. Tell me what you're working on Instagram. You can find me house__work, or you can type in Brian House. You can find me that way. You can also go on the DIY Machines and Belt Grinders Facebook forum or the Home Built Belt Grinders forum. There's tons of ways to find me. You can find me all over the place. Hashtag it and then show me what you're working on, because I need to see it. I need some inspiration. Honestly, I've been feeling very drugged down, you know, by a lot of the things that are happening, and you know, it's been tough for me. But just real quick before, I don't want to talk about that anymore, but real quick, right behind me is another Revolution grinder, and I'm building this for a buddy of mine. I don't fabricate these, as you know, I'm not a fabricator, but I did design and build the 2x72 belt grinder called the Revolution. It's been built hundreds of times, and we just had our 1,000th sale on the website, and it's just like mind-blowing to me that this project has changed my life in such a crazy way so fast. But I spent the last week building this grinder and then walking through every step, like all the minutia of the fabrication of the Revolution. I filmed it all. I'm editing it together. I was hoping I would have that video done by today. Ultimately, I won't, because it's, gosh, it turned out to be a very long video. But what I wanted for that video was I wanted to show every step along the way for those who maybe didn't want to read the plans. They could potentially watch this video and build along with the video and get the job done alongside of the plans and the kit. You know, if you buy the laser cut parts, if you're in the United States, you can get those laser cut parts. Oh, and by the way, if you're in Hawaii, it turns out I can ship to you too for free. So just know that. I initially thought the priority shipping flat rate was just for the continental U.S., but it's really for Hawaii and Alaska too. And we've since shipped quite a few over to Hawaii and none to Alaska yet. But anyway, be on the lookout for that video. It's going to come out probably next Saturday. I should have it done. And then if you're interested in building the Revolution, that'll be just maybe one more piece of information or one more sort of maybe push you over the edge to build one yourself. So anyhow, guys, thank you so much. If you got something out of today's video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. And if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And if you click that little bell, you'll get a notification every time I upload something to YouTube. There are numerous ways to support my channel. By far the best way is to go to my website, housemade.us. I've got sticker packs, merch stuff there. You can buy plans for the Revolution 2x72. You can buy laser cut parts and hardware and bundles and all that. That's the best way. Or there's Patreon and there's Buy Me a Coffee, and you can go out and support my work that way. And don't forget to go out and find the Work For It podcast. I am having an absolute friggin' blast making these podcasts, and we're basically kind of going in the direction of talking about the work that we do, and then also a little bit about what content creation looks like, becoming a personal brand. How do you sell your stuff? How do you price out your stuff? Those kinds of things. And I get to talk to some really super interesting people in the studio, and it's a good time. So it's something to leave on, like maybe while you're working in your workshop and studio. Anyhow, guys, I hope to see you on the next video. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Brian House, and this has been Housework.